This episode is brought to you by Novilla Mattresses, where comfort meets innovation, giving you the perfect night's sleep you've been dreaming of. Are you tired of tossing and turning all night, struggling to find a comfortable position? Look no further than Novilla Mattresses, the ultimate sleep solution designed with your comfort in mind. Experience the luxury of a good night's sleep with Novilla's advanced mattress technology. Their mattresses are crafted using the finest materials, providing the perfect balance of support and softness. Whether you prefer a plush feel or a firmer surface, Novilla has a mattress that caters to your unique sleep preference. But what sets Novilla apart from the rest? It's their commitment to innovation and quality. Each mattress is thoughtfully engineered to provide optimal spinal alignment, reducing pressure points and ensuring you wake up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated every morning. Say goodbye to restless nights and hello to blissful sleep with Novilla's cutting-edge cooling technology. Their mattresses are designed to regulate temperature, keeping you cool and comfortable throughout the night. No more waking up in a sweat, just pure, uninterrupted sleep. Worried about allergens and dust mites? Don't be. Novilla mattresses are hypoallergenic and resistant to common allergens, ensuring a healthier sleep environment for you and your loved ones. And here's the best part. Novilla is committed to affordability. They believe that everyone deserves a great night's sleep without breaking the bank. That's why their mattresses are competitively priced, giving you the best value for your money. But don't just take our word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already made the switch to Novilla. Even when your mom comes to my place, just know she's getting a great night's sleep, among other things. Experience the difference for yourself and discover what it truly means to sleep like you've never slept before. Using promo code Schweezy or the link in our description, you can save 10% off any purchase you make through Novilla directly. Ready to transform your sleep experience? Visit their website today and choose the Novilla mattress that suits your needs. Your journey to a better night's sleep starts now with Novilla mattresses. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your faith, but come to those who believe it, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Hello and what is going on, my fellow Schwokelords? What is up? Welcome to another episode of Cancel Schweezy, better known as the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. What is going on, everyone? How's it been? Happy Easter. I think it's happy belated Easter is everything. Hope your eggs were hidden very, very well, because if they weren't, it's you would have problems. I don't know. I've never been to one of those adult Easter egg hunts, where, like they put booze in the Easter egg, like little bottles of booze in them. And like, why don't we do that? Why don't my friends ever want to organize that? They're always organizing some bullshit, and it's never this. So, yeah, I hope everyone had a good Easter. I know a lot of people had to celebrate Easter, even though they didn't want to. But even then, it's still like, it's not the worst holiday, like, you have to celebrate. I think some people have to go to church for some reason, like the Catholics decide they have to go to Easter Mass or whatever, some bullshit like that. I'm not one who needs to celebrate Easter anymore, it's always weird, And then also, someone needs to figure fucking Easter out, because like every couple of years it's in March and then the rest of the time it's in April. I'm like, you guys need to make up your goddamn fucking minds, because we need to figure, if Jesus rose from the dead, we would have an exact date, right? Shouldn't we have an exact date on that? Or we could have figured it out, like we could have dated back in time, and it's Passover, it takes place after Passover, which is a Jewish holiday, which Jesus was Jewish, and so shouldn't we have like the exact day on that, That's I don't know, like we should have the exact day. I don't know. I know we probably we have a clue of maybe when Jesus was born. It was in the summer, by the way. It was not in the winter. The pagans wanted to be Christians but also wanted to celebrate the winter solstice. So this was the compromise. We celebrate Jesus' birthday in December. Sorry, Jesus, about your parties always being so lame. I was not organizing them. But yeah, I know some people, this is this is a touchy subject because you have to go, there's a religious trauma involved. And so, yeah. And so I've decided, in all my wisdom and knowledge in our world, that I think we should create an anti-Easter, and we call it Wester because it's the East, it's West, Wester. And one thing I do think about with Wester is I don't want it to be religious, and and especially satanic, because you say Wester and the Christians automatically assume, you're satanic. Because if you don't believe in God, you're satanic. And if you support gay people, that automatically makes you gay in the eyes of Christians, which is a little bit different. And, Well,
damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
So, yeah, well, like Wester, but let's make it like nothing satanic and nothing religious about it. We call it Wester. It's kind of my version of, a lot of people are changing Columbus Day to Indigenous People Day because Columbus didn't discover the indigenous people. They were already here, and they, it was discovered by Europe, probably, that's when Europe discovered the Americas. And it wasn't like you could say this is when white people discovered America. You could say that way. And Christopher Columbus wasn't a good person. If you know anything about him, he was the worst person to ever exist. One of them, who would be after that? Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I watched Wonka, and I got to say, too much singing. Also, second, thank God Grandpa Joe wasn't there, like a young Grandpa Joe, because if I was been Wonka, I would have just let him die. And that's the real problem I have with Willy Wonka, is that he had all the opportunities in the world to murder Grandpa Joe, but he murdered children. I mean, he justified the murdering of the children. And honestly, he told them to stop. Not very well, but he did tell them to stop. So, yeah. What did I think of Wonka? It was all right. It was all right. It was probably made for, it's more of a family film versus me watching it on my own and stuff like that. So,
when you drink alcohol?
And yeah, so... yeah, who wants to join my anti-Easter celebration called Wester? Wester, Easter for non-religious people. And what do we celebrate on Easter? We should celebrate on Wester the idea that we are moving past our religious trauma. We are moving forward in life regardless of our religious trauma. We're looking in the rearview mirror of all the trauma and evil and downright awful things that the church does. And it's the idea of that is in the rearview mirror. I want to start, I really do think this would be a good idea. And the anti-Easter Wester for non-religious people to celebrate having the mindful awareness that religion is toxic. I'm not saying Christianity and Jesus is toxic. I'm not saying, I'm just saying organized religion. All of it is toxic, and all of it does not necessarily do good for your life. If you're like, I'm depressed and I'm going to church, try not going to church, because to be honest with you, I used to be a lot more depressed than I usually am. And I think me deciding to no longer go to church really just flourished my mental health a lot better. There were some roadblocks along the way, but cutting out the, super religious people, because there's two types of people who I know fall into Christianity. It's emotionally vulnerable people. I feel like that used to be me. And narcissists, sociopaths who want control over other people. And you're either one of the two when it comes to church, and it's okay to admit you're emotionally vulnerable. We all mostly are. The thing is, the sociopaths are not. And so that's something to really think about when, churches. I'm like, yeah, a lot of those people are sociopaths and narcissists who just want control over people and want to have power over people. And it's not cool. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be a pastor. You could be an elder. You could be the worship pastor like me. It kind of all comes together. So, I really feel like religious people are in those two categories. Which one are you? You decide. You decide that. I also have some thoughts on, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like I always do, because those movies are nice. Those movies are fun to watch, and some quality's bad, but, I don't have to rewatch Secret Invasion, so I'm okay with that. But there was always something about Marvel Phase 2, which was Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then eventually ending with Avengers, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. And one of the things I've always, everyone always questions when they watch Phase 2 movies is, why are they not calling the other Avengers for this situation? And the movies didn't really give a good job explaining why that. Like, Thor was off-world, so I guess that's a decent excuse. Captain America and Iron Man was kind of self-contained, and so I feel like Iron Man could have gotten away with it to an extent, because it was kind of him figuring it out, and then, and that stuff. But, like, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that opening, I love that movie, by the way. It's so fucking good. In the opening of that movie, they had that boat scene where they fight that one guy. I can't remember his name, but at the moment, he was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier too, and then he died in that movie, on that show. But, like, one thing that, like, a lot of DC animated movies do, and I would say Thor, Love and Thunder did, and I know The Flash did it too, and I know people don't like The Flash because of the guy in it, but I think The Flash is a pretty good movie. The CGI is kind of weird, but in my mind, I see it as, like, it's supposed to be kind of uncanny valley when you see it, and I kind of appreciate that fact, but it could just be laziness. I'm just not finishing the CGI or whatever. There's a good shot that could probably be it. But what those movies start off with, like Thor, Love and Thunder, the end of Avengers Endgame, Thor goes off with the Guardians of the Galaxy on adventures and stuff like that. He gets in shape and shit like that. And, like, they have the opening fight scene. Most action movies usually have some sort of fight or action sequence at the beginning of the movie. And I believe the idea is that it keeps your, like, attention throughout the rest of the movie. And so you're not just kind of, like, fucking bored the entire movie. Like that scene where Captain America is, like, on the boat or whatever. Like, I know Black Widow's there, but, Thor and Iron Man, I mean, I guess the Iron Man idea was that he destroyed all his suits, but also he comes back in Age of Ultron with a suit. So, and they explained that easily. But I think those Phase 2 movies would have really benefited, at least Thor, Love and Thunder, Thor the Dark World, Captain America Winter Soldier, and Iron Man 3 should have really started off with, like, an Avengers team up, just a short Avengers team up, and then everyone goes on their way and has a reason why they're gone for the rest of the movie. I think that is really good, because I know in, Love and Thunder, Thor's like, I have to investigate myself, and then the Guardians are like, well, there's other planets that need help too, and then they split up, and that makes sense. There's a cool way to see how they split off. They could have easily done that, and then no one would have had the question of, hey, why are they not calling the Avengers or whatever? Like, that opening scene in Captain America Winter Soldier in Thor the Dark World, those two really should have started off with an Avengers team up, and then they split off and go their own ways. And then, that's why they can't solve it. That's what I wish they would have done. They probably did not do that because of Marvel wasn't as big as they were. The Avengers really hit off, but they, it's not like they had the budget. They didn't have budgets to, like, get all these actors, especially RDJ. He's a lot of money. So I understand it from that standpoint. Civil War did the same thing, they basically kind of the Avengers were dealing with Crossbones. I talk about the Flash. They had that Justice League team up, kind of Superman. They had Batman. They had Wonder Woman. I don't know who the other guys were. And then Aquaman was at the end, That's what I wish they would have done with Phase 2. But, if I could have go back and re-edit those movies, I would definitely do Avenger team-ups in the beginning of it. So it still feels like, there's, like, the continuity there. I'm like, hey, we're still a team, but, like, everyone's on their own right now. And so we have to, that's my thoughts, What are your guys' thoughts on that? I'd love to hear your Phase 2 thoughts. If you thought that what I said was a good idea, whether or not, that was just, like, a thought I had. And, yeah, that would have really popped off made those movies just better than they were, especially Thor the Dark World could have really started off with that. All right, so if you like music, make sure you go check out my music under Schweezy. I am getting my release schedule planned out, and so that's going to be exciting. We're going to have new music soon, and I am pumped about that, so definitely go check that out. Social media is at TheSchweezy. That's where you can see everything that I do and everything I announce, show announcements, music announcements, podcasts, everything else in there, anything I do, you can see me there. So make sure you're following there, support, helps, even that helps boost the channel too. We got Patreon, Cash App, and PayPal, all financial ways you can support us and say thank you for being a friend to travel down this road and back again. Because if your heart is true, I would say you're a pal and a confidant. So, with that,
cool stuff, slick stuff, neat stuff.
But make sure you do all the free shit. If you are not on YouTube, make sure you check that out and subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're trying to build up that platform a lot. And if you are on an audio platform, give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating and leave us a review too. So,
be gone, fucks!
Let's jump into previous week right now, or previous weeks right now, as we may soon be calling it. We're just going to go over previous news that I've not gone over yet. So,
let's just jump into it.
Trump is selling God Bless the USA Bibles for $59.99 as he faces mounting legal bills. Former President Donald Trump is now selling Bibles as he runs to return to the White House. Trump, who became the presumptive Republican nominee earlier this month, released a video on his Truth Social platform on Tuesday urging his supporters to buy the God Bless the USA Bible, which is inspired by country singer Lee Greenwood's patriotic ballad. Trump takes the stage to the song at each of his rallies and has appeared with Greenwood at events. Happy Holy Week. Let's pray. Let's make America pray again. As we lead into Good Friday and Easter, I encourage you to get a copy of the God Bless the USA Bible. Trump wrote, directing his supporters to a website selling the books for $59.99. The effort comes as Trump has faced a serious money crunch amid mounting legal bills while he fights for 4 criminal indictments. Along with a series of civil charges, Trump has given a reprieve Monday when a New York appeals court agreed to hold off on collecting the more than $454 million he owes following a civil fraud judgment if he puts up $175 million within 10 days. Trump has already posted a $92 million bond in connection with defamation cases brought by the writer E. Jean Carroll, who accused Trump of sexual assault. All America needs a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book. Trump said in the video posted on Truth Social, "I'm proud to endorse and encourage you to get the Bible. We must make America pray again." Billing itself as the only Bible endorsed by President Trump, the New Ventures website calls it easy to read. With large print and a slim design that invites you to explore God's Word anywhere, anytime. Besides a King James Version translation, it includes copies of the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance, as well as a handwritten chorus of the famous Greenwood song. The Bible is just the latest commercial venture that Trump has pursued while campaigning. So if you want to make the reason why he's doing this is because he's about to run out of all his money. And even like campaign or donations and stuff like that, he has a ton of money he owes. And and I'm guessing he doesn't want to get his assets seized, which it's going to be Trump. If he doesn't pay all this, Trump Tower is gone. And so the reason why he's making his own Bible and selling his own Bible is because it can probably fall under some sort of religious type of thing. And so one, it might not count towards any of the lawsuits or whatever, so he just sells money. That's pretty much why he's doing it. And he knows all his supporters are sheep and the dumbest people alive. Reasons why this Bible is easy to read with large print and a slim design that invites you to explore God's Word anywhere, anytime. Oh boy, you guys know this is a scam, right? I know the Trump supporters don't. They think he's a man of God. And the best thing to do is when you get into a fight with a specific religious conservative, ask them the question, do you believe Donald Trump represents Jesus? And they will always avoid the question. That's always avoiding the question. So you just have to be adamant, like, you're not answering my goddamn question. Do you believe, this is a yes or no question, do you believe Donald Trump represents Jesus? And if you say your answer is yes, you are not reading your Bible, which is something I always say is the people who don't believe in Christianity anymore are the ones who've actually read the Bible. I know the most of those people who do believe it really don't read the Bible. You know, maybe the con artist who get your money and emotionally abuse you, and other abuses too. They're probably going to use it in that way they can, because no one's reading the Bible. No one fucking reads, dude. No one. And if you are an avid reader, you're not fucking reading the Bible, dude. That shit gets boring. I know, because I read the Bible, and there's so many things in the Bible that just like show how much of a false prophet he is. And if you're one of those rapture believing people who believes in the Antichrist and bullshit like that, like Donald Trump, like lists everything. I think it's kind of this idea. The idea was with the Antichrist is like there's going to be false prophets and false people who claim they're part of God and they're not. And I'm not saying Donald Trump's the Antichrist. It's just this idea of being anti-Christ. And, people like Joel Osteen, Mike Bickle, Donald Trump, these people don't represent what the Bible is. And if you do, you really need to start deconstructing your faith, and they say deconstructing is a scary word in churches, and like churches always encourage you not to do that because then you'll start thinking for yourself and probably realize it's all bullshit. But I know a lot of people who have gone through their deconstructive process and are still Christians too. And so I'm not saying that they probably have some changes, like, gay marriage and gay people are okay, women should decide their bodies. The Bible doesn't really. What the Bible actually says about abortion is if you think your wife cheated on you, you have to abort the child. That's in the Old Testament. So whatever you want to believe there. And there's really nothing in the real translation of the Bible that says being gay is bad, because most of those were translated to being pedophiles. And we all know that's bad. And you shouldn't be justifying that, It's like you got to keep trans people out of the bathrooms, but yet you're like, was it like Kentucky? They just passed a law that's like, you can marry a 13-year-old. That's okay. Yes, we got to protect our kids, but that's fine. You can just hand off your young 13-year-old daughter to some creep and be like, it's my wife now. I need my wife, It's just shit like this. What I'm really surprised at, with, all of this, out of all of this, I am so shocked that Donald Trump hasn't made his own translation of the Bible and like has been releasing like the Trump version of the Bible. To be honest with you, I am just so surprised. Like, it's like this idea of the King James Bible, because I think the story goes, and I'm probably wrong, so please leave a comment if I'm wrong. It was that there was a king named James, and he was super religious, and so he made and probably a narcissist too, so he had to make his own Bible. And then that became the most popular Bible up until like the NIV version came out or whatever, and the ESV, English Standard Version of the Bible. Probably all translated wrong, just got to realize that. The only way you can really know the Bible is getting a copy of the original text, word for word, understanding the actual language it was, understanding what the language was at the time it was written to fully understand the context. It's like reading Shakespeare, and then it would be like reading Shakespeare because you're just like reading it and you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then like you kind of like get an idea of what's going on in the show, and you're like, okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, now this makes sense, So, yeah, but I'm surprised there's no Donald Trump translation of the Bible. People would eat that shit up. Like, there would be churches. There's already MAGA churches already, who combine their patriotism to the United States with their Christianity, which, I don't think those two should mix, in my opinion, because I think that if you kind of leave it for everyone can have their own religious beliefs, I think that just makes a society better. And that was kind of what I think the Founding Fathers' ideas were, even though it was mostly, the United States was probably mostly Christian and atheists and agnostics at the time, It's like, you can be Catholic, you can be Baptist, you can be, you can be whatever, you can be whatever you want. It started with denominations, then we kind of moved towards every religion, because the Constitution was kind of set it up that way. So, yeah, so I'm trying to think of Bible stories. Let's do the Good Samaritan. So there was this guy, and he was great, not as great as me. He was great. He was great, by the way. He was great. And, he got into an accident and he was on the side of the road. And, if I would have been there, I would have helped him, because that's the kind of guy I am. I'm a good guy. And I help him where I am. So it was just like run-on sentences and shit like that. And one guy passed. He voted for Hillary, and obviously he didn't help him. The next guy, the next liberal that was helping this other liberal, they're liberals helping this other liberal. He was not a good person either. He voted for Joe Biden and Sleepy Joe. He's voted for Sleepy Joe. And so he was a bad person too, so he didn't go by there. But then a conservative walked by, and though he was a liberal, he helped him out because being conservative and being a Republican is the best thing ever, Like, that's the shit I imagine in the Donald Trump Bible, not the just the Donald Trump translating the Bible, or like someone translates it. That would actually take a lot of time, though. I forgot that shit. I remember hearing about missionaries who worked on getting the Bible translated into every language, which that's cool. You can just, edit it however you want to how to control society. So, in regards to Donald Trump.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got this guy stinks. FNX Fitness, the ultimate destination for fitness enthusiasts looking to reach their peak performance and achieve their health goals. Are you tired of the same old fitness routines that leave you feeling uninspired and unmotivated? Look no further than FNX Fitness, where they bring a fresh and innovative approach to your fitness journey. At FNX Fitness, they believe that true fitness goes beyond just physical strength. It's about nourishing your body and mind and soul to unlock your full potential. That's why they offer a wide range of high-quality supplements and products designed to support your active lifestyle. Fuel your workouts and enhance your recovery with the scientifically formulated supplements. From pre-workout energizers to post-workout recovery blends, FNX Fitness has you covered every step of the way. Their products are carefully crafted using premium ingredients, ensuring you get the nutrients you need to perform at your best. But FNX Fitness is more than just supplements. It's a community of like-minded individuals who share your passion for fitness and well-being. Join their supportive community and gain access to expert advice, workout tips, and motivational content that will keep you inspired and on track towards your goals. They understand that fitness is a personal journey, which is why they offer a wide range of products to cater to your individual needs. Whether you're a seasoned athlete looking to take your performance to the next level, or a beginner taking your first steps towards a healthier lifestyle, FNX Fitness has the tools and resources to support you every step of the way. But don't just take my word for it. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have already experienced the FNX Fitness difference. Transform your fitness routine and unlock your full potential with FNX Fitness. And using our code in the description, you can save 15% off your order from their website. Ready to take your fitness to the next level? Visit their website on your nearest retailer today and discover the power of FNX Fitness. Elevate your performance, fuel your passion, and become the best version of yourself with FNX Fitness. And a reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Cash App, the easiest way to send, spend, and save money with just a few taps on your phone. Are you tired of dealing with the hassle of carrying cash or waiting in long lines at the bank? With Cash App, you can say goodbye to those inconveniences and hello to a seamless financial experience. Sending money to friends and family has never been easier, whether you're splitting the bill at dinner, paying your share of rent, or simply sending a birthday gift. Cash App lets you transfer money instantly, directly from your bank account. No need to worry about writing checks or handling physical cash anymore. But Cash App doesn't stop there. It's complete financial ecosystem right at your fingertips. Use the app to easily pay for your morning coffee, groceries, or even your monthly subscriptions. With just a simple scan or tap, you can make purchases at millions of locations, both online and offline. And here's the best part. Cash App helps you save money too. With its innovative Boost feature, you can unlock exclusive discounts and cashback rewards at popular retailers, restaurants, and even your favorite services. It's like having your own personal saving assistant, always looking out for the best deals. Worried about security? Cash App has you covered. With top-notch encryption and advanced security features, your financial information is always protected. Plus, if you have ever had any question or concerns, Cash App's dedicated customer support team is available 24/7 to assist you. So why wait? Join millions of satisfied users and experience the convenience, speed, and savings that Cash App brings to your financial life. Download the app today from your app store and start spending and saving money like never before. Luckily, the best part is, if you sign up using the link in the description, you get a free $5 just for signing up. That's literally just free money. So join Cash App today. The future of money is here. And when you use our links, you directly support this show. Easter around the world. We celebrate Easter in the United States, and because of that, I don't know how other cultures know about Easter. What the fuck they do. So it's just, so I found this BuzzFeed article. Here's how people around the world normally celebrate Easter. And let's just what did you say?
Let's just jump into it.
All right, so in Sweden, children usually dress up as witches and go door to door on the hunt for tasty treats. Okay, so is this like Sweden's version of Halloween is just on Easter? That's pretty fucking funny. Dude, you know how bad that would go over in the United States? Just like, my kids having my kid dressed up like a witch and ask for candy. Just shit like that. That's so funny. People in America would lose their goddamn mind. First of all, witches, they say they exist, but they don't. They don't do fucking shit. And I'm a believer on that. It's like you're like, I don't think they got witches right in this TV show. I don't think anyone gets witches right because witches aren't real. Like, I like how in WandaVision they had Agatha Harkness's like origin B when they were burning witches at the stake, and it does show like a Kevin of actual witches versus it's not real, so you can't necessarily do that. So you can't do that. You can't do that.
Can anybody tell me what can I do with these ladybugs?
On Easter Sunday, an antique cart is paraded through the streets of Florence, Italy in an elaborate 20-minute firework display. Wait, it's paraded around? Italians are on something else. They are the worst of the whites. I'm going to be honest with you. But it's okay. You can be Italian. I won't like discriminate against you. I'm just saying, some of you guys, and some of you are like, it's not me though. I'm like, some of you guys, and you know who I'm talking about, are the worst of the whites. I feel like, the Italians get the worst of the whites. I feel like American whites might be the top of the food chain there. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the Brits are good. Like, I don't know. Yeah, the Brits are like the United States where they have like, hello, governor. Shut the fuck up, dude. Speak in a normal voice, okay? You don't have to do the fucking accent. And stop making your kids, British people, stop making your kids do the fucking accent too, okay? It's child abuse, okay, to make your kids do that fucking accent all the time, okay? Then they get used to it and they start talking that way. It's child abuse. Child abuse is making your child speak with a British accent instead of a normal one like me. Because like aren't we like the few that speak English, like America, Britain? We're like the only like English, and like of English speakers, we're better than them. Like you can actually understand the words we say if you're not from the South. So like, goddamn, like a 20-minute firework parade. How do you even do that safely? Because I know in the United States when we do fireworks, we kind of do the station where they light the fireworks far away from actual people, So how they're able to parade this throughout the town and the streets in quotation marks. I don't know if these are like, this street looks pretty fucking bad from the picture I'm looking at. I didn't even know they had streets in Italy. I thought that was just all dirt roads or bricks or whatever. I guess Rome was the top of it or whatever. A giant 15,000 egg omelet is usually cooked in front of a huge crowd in Bessères, France. I wish I liked eggs, dude. I really wish I liked eggs. It'd be so easy. Like if you have like your own property, you can get chickens of your own and then they lay eggs and then you have eggs and then you can make omelets and other shit with it, I wish I liked eggs. I don't know why I don't like eggs. I don't know why. I wish I did, but I just don't. There's like this rubbery, I think it might be a texture thing or whatever, but it's pretty unfortunate.
This is the type of guy you get.
But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty cool because they make that, then they can feed a lot of people. Honestly, that's like a pretty good way to give back to the community. One, you're making something kind of cool. Two, you're able to feed large numbers of people. 15,000 eggs. That's a pretty big all. And this thing looks thick AF. 2 C's. Thick AF. And so, yeah. I also wish I just liked eggs because I feel like my life would be better if I liked eggs. You just eat eggs every day and like you just lose weight because of that. You poop. Your poops are pretty insane, but yeah. Life works in mysterious, I work in mysterious ways. So I like that. I work in mysterious ways too. In Australia, children are given chocolate bibbies and endangered marsupial as an alternative to chocolate bunnies. Oh, that's cool. I kind of like that, but the chocolate bibbies. Give me one of them chocolate bibbies. And, as I've recently learned, the reason why either chocolate bunnies or chocolate bibbies are hollow some of them are hollow on the inside, is it's supposed to represent God's promises to all of us. Empty promises. That is why they're hollow. If you've ever questioned why don't they just fill it up all the way versus just leaving it hollow on the inside, one, it's probably a cost-cutting measure. But two, it really is supposed to represent Christ's promises to us in regards to just it being empty and being an empty tomb, empty promises, Same shit, different toilet, as they like to say. In Bermuda, people usually fly between geometrical designed kites on the beach on Good Friday. That just sounds like a lot of fun, Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. We're gonna fly some kites, the rainbow, but we're not gay. But no, that'd be fun. I'm actually secret. If everyone, everyone has like a weird secret hidden talent, and everyone would be like, I bet it's guitar for you. It's actually not the guitar. I've actually had to learn how to play that. Kite flying, I am like a natural. Like, I am naturally really good at flying kites. Like, I'm telling you right now, if I was asexual and did not have any motivation to try to get laid, I would just go pro at flight kiting because I would kick so much ass at it. Like, as someone who's maybe flown a kite like 5 times in his life, I've been good every time. Every time I fly it, it literally never comes down. I'm always able to keep it up in the sky going. I can get it up there pretty easily. And yeah, it's just because, as they like to say,
I'm built different.
I am who I am. In Corfu, Greece, Orthodox Easter festivities are typically marked by throwing large clay pots from the balcony. I'm going to be honest with you guys, that sounds like a logistical nightmare. Someone has to clean that shit up, right? Like, someone has to clean that shit up. It's Greek people, and they're kind of Italians too, so, they're kind of Italians too, so, yeah, maybe that one can be stopped because someone has to clean that shit up unless they have some sort of like industrial street cleaner that picks up glass and like literally everything. I feel bad for the person who has to clean that up, I bet you Greeks didn't think that through. This is gonna be the actual episode that gets me canceled talking about other cultures. I can talk about the white ones, it's okay. You can always make fun of, if you're white, you can always make fun of cultures of your same skin color, okay? If I'm gonna go to like, let's talk about Africa, and I'm just like, those people. And I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say a joke because that will be taken out of context. So yeah, you Greeks need to fucking get your life together, dude. I've seen some of you. You're fat, you're greasy. Like, not all, you think you're all John Stamos, you're not all John Stamos. I'm just gonna point that out to you. He is a 1 in a million. In Hungary, young boys would spend Easter Sunday sprinkling local girls with water, but nowadays perfume has typically replaced the bucket of water. Bruh, this sounds very Eastern European. Grigor, spray that woman with your Axe body spray. I have to, if I was doing this, I would do Axe body spray. I'm like, smell like a middle school boy. Because, like, if you're going to throw something on someone, one, don't do acid. That's a dick move. Don't do that, okay? Don't throw acid on people. But also, like, this is, like, water is throwing water on people, dick move. Perfume, and this is typically, and now perfume in there. What if the perfume's, like, honestly, everyone's going to pick a bad smelling perfume. I'm not going to pick a nice one, you know? Like, there's, like, that one standard perfume smell a lot of girls have, you know? I feel like it's called the basic bitch smell. I feel like it's, like, some Sephora or some just cheap Chinese, like, perfume that every woman sprays, you know? I'm like, it's not going to be that. I know how guys work. We're not going to be nice about it, you know? So maybe we could stop that one, but it also is kind of funny. Here we go, back to the States. In Washington, D.C., the president and the first lady normally host an annual Easter egg roll, which involves kids racing eggs using a giant wooden spoon. That sounds like fun. What kids do they act? How do they get the kids involved? Are they, like, staff member kids? I see, like, a little black... In the photo, I don't think you guys can see it. There's a Sasha and Malia. Are those Obama's kids' names? You know? Maybe one of them, you know? Those kids were way too young to be a president's kid, you know? Like, there's some, like, weird, you know, you hear weird shit about that all the time, you know? But yeah, I've already known about this, and, they don't pardon the Easter bunny. They don't pardon the bunny. They pardon the turkey on Thanksgiving. That, you know, fun little traditions like this, you know, help make the president have to be a people person, you know? And if they can't really handle that, then they shouldn't be president, you know? Big orange guy. In Russia, a little lamb-shaped sculpture made from butter is often seen at the Easter spread. That actually kind of makes a little bit of sense. That actually has decent historical context, considering Passover they would sacrifice lambs, and from what I've been told, or
I was told
that, like, isn't, like, Israel was just, like, blood just, like, running everywhere across down the street, just, like, lamb blood just. Like, it's kind of a problem, you know, how much lamb's blood you just see out during Passover, just from, like, butchering a lamb, you know? And I think, yeah, you have to do it in some weird religious context. With Passover, right, there's something that has to go into the lamb you eat and shit like that. But yeah, no, so this has historic context, and not just throwing clay pots out of your balcony, which is a dick thing to do. And you shouldn't do that, because that is bad, okay? This is bad. Morris dances performed by groups wearing bells and sticks usually take place in parts of England. I'm going to be honest with you. That sounds horrible. Like, why was anyone coming to watch that? I bet they're all good at what they're doing, but, like, you know, if you don't know, like, when I watched Wonka, like, I didn't know going into it would be a musical. I thought, like, the original one, like, songs are sparing. Like, they had the Oompa Loompa song, Pure Imagination. They had the Candyman. Yeah, like, those are the only ones I know. And, you know, watching that movie, like, you're not, like, annoyed with all the singing and shit. Like, if you don't know you're about to watch a musical, sometimes it can be very annoying. I love musicals, and I'm always down to, like, you know, if I'm in New York, I want to go to see some shows. You know, I'm always down for that. But, like, also, like, I'm mentally knowing I'm going to see a musical, and it's a little bit better. As someone who likes musicals, I like to know I'm watching a musical before going into it. Whatever this is, jumping in with your bells in your leg, God, that's got to be awful. God, that's got to be terrible. I wonder if there's a video of that. I'm not going to watch, because that looks like it would be an awful video. An awful video to watch indeed. In the Holy Week procession in Verges, Spain, performers dress up in skeletal attire and perform a dance of death. Part of me thinks they stole this from Phoebe Bridgers. If you in our Punisher tour, she had, like, the skeleton shirt and pants or whatever, and, like, that's what the band wore. I'm like, you know, I know this was probably first, but I'm going to give Phoebe Bridgers the benefit of the doubt that when she did the whole skeleton aesthetic, that Spain copied her, not vice versa. It's not that she copied Spain. It's probably not copying at all. I think she just wanted to do a skeleton thing. But I don't know, you know, these Spanish speakers, you know, it also is kind of creepy too, you know, it's like, well, I don't know if I can take my kids to this. Also, the dance of death. What the hell? Jesus didn't die on Easter, by the way. He came back. Well, he did die. He came back, though. You know, does it really count if someone dies and then comes back to life? You know, people are like, I was dead for a minute, but, like, it's also like, I was literally dead for a minute. Like, that's all it was. It's not like I died. And you say I died and came back to life, and then you have to proceed with, yeah, it was like a minute. You know, I think after like a certain amount of time, don't you just get severe brain damage or something like that, and you're just like a vegetable? And then it's like, and then we get to the controversy. Terry Schiavo is kind of alive. And yeah, oh, okay, well, cool, Spain. Thank you for contributing skeletons to Easter. We really needed that. Thank you guys so much. In Germany, trees and bushes have intricately decorated with mouth-blown eggs hung from their branches. That is kind of cool. Cool. Germany, you guys have never done anything wrong. You guys have never been the bad guys. And so, this is a nice, wholesome tradition. Just why can't everyone just be a wholesome country of their complete history, wholesome country like Germany? They've never done anything bad. I don't think. I can't think of any reason why Germany's ever been the bad guys. All right, that joke aside, this is actually kind of cool. This would be like, I think anyone can do this. I think the big problem would be taking it down, but usually if you have someone, usually these things are probably like somewhat known. They probably hire a guy to do it who knows what they're doing, Like, when you see like spectacular Christmas decorations, I've heard like that if fun life hack for anyone. If you want to have Christmas lights on your house, but you don't really want to put them up, I know a lot of people who work in like landscaping, or like lawn care and stuff like that. Around winter, like November, winter time, if there's no snow, which usually I feel like snow usually starts in like January versus December, but with a lot of times they don't have a lot of gigs going on, and someone who understands how, gig economy and, gig working and stuff like that, you could always you might be able to convince some of them to put up Christmas lights, and, they can charge their price and shit. Like, it's a good way, find someone local. It's a good way to give back to your community. And also, you don't have to put up Christmas lights, and you can have a cool ass house, Be smart like me, folks, okay?
Damn, Jackie, I can't control the weather.
And that's it. I guess we made it through all of them. What's my favorite Easter tradition? I guess I have to talk about myself now. Everyone hates talking about themselves. No, there's no one out there who loves talk. Actually, a good life hack. If you want, if a good, easy way, if you want to get someone to like you, or someone to be your friend and stuff like that, have conversations with them, but let them talk about themselves. That's, it's a good lesson there, because everyone actually really kind of does like talking about themselves, Some people are like, yeah, I don't like who I am when I have to talk about myself. There's other situations there, but overall, there is something about the human experience where we all kind of want to talk about ourselves and stuff like that. And so some people don't have that self-control. I've got that self-control because I'm on the internet every week, and I have to kind of, I have to make things my way, but yeah, no. Easter's fun. I usually go. I think we're gonna have lunch at my aunt and uncle's house, and they have a cool house and next to it's like a country club lake house, and so that's always cool. It's always fun. Going there is always fun. So I always enjoy any opportunity they have, especially when because they like to drink too. Not like they're not bad. They're actually way less bad than me. Like I've actually been pretty good lately. I don't think I have like beers at band practices, but besides that, I haven't, and that's like one, maybe two, rarely two, like one beer, and, I've had to tone down on that, so we'll see. I think I might have to have band rehearsal after lunch, so I may have to keep my shit together, But yeah, that always nice getting an Easter basket. I bet my mom's gonna give me a card or something. I never know what to do with like cards like that, like the Hallmark type cards. Like I just never know what to do with those, because a lot of times people get them all. And like I worked at Target for 3 months, and you'd be surprised how many people buy cards all the time. Like it is shocking. Like I don't think I've probably bought like 5 cards or whatever. Because I don't have to mail shit or whatever, I just pull the gift out and give it to them, I'm like, unless I'm going to write something sentimental, no thanks, you know? But yeah, so that's been, I used to have to go to church, you know, back in the day I was at church, and I usually always, you know, it was typically normal for me to have to play on Easter Sundays, and so back in my church music days, and so that was always a thing, and so that, like, sometimes they add extra services, sometimes they just make one big service. It all depends on the size of your church, where you're going, and everything there. So everyone, please tell me your Easter traditions. Do you have screwdrivers, aka vodka and orange juice? That's how I would like to do it. Do you have mimosas? You know, that's how. If your family celebrates Easter and they have mimosas in the morning and brunch and like cool party shit, you know, you know, I gotta say, you probably are doing Easter right. You make a nice meal for someone, you know, it's good. So, yeah, thinking just about all that stuff and how that is how the world works. Do I know any of other Easter traditions? One time I actually participated in a Passover service, and by participated, I mean I ate the meal, and then we had to do everyone was doing other shit, and I went home. It was the middle of the night. I went home. So, you know, that's
This is the type of guy you get.
and yeah, are you? And also a question too. Are you Jewish? Do you celebrate Passover? Maybe you are a big C, a capital C, and you, not cunt, it's Christian, capital C, and you also celebrate Passover with your normal Easter shit. And yeah, I would actually strongly encourage anyone to, if you can, participate in a Passover meal or something like that. It's very interesting, and just go into it. Don't be a dick when you go into it. And it's like, well, a lot of big noses in here. You just can't go into shit like that. But yeah, no, it was a really interesting experience. There's also wine there, FYI, so that's a good. They do have wine there, and it's like religious purposes wine. But you know, I don't know how much is too much wine for religious purposes. That's also my question. But overall, let me tell. What are your Easter traditions? Please let me know. I would love to see that, and if you have a good one, I might start using it with everyone else. And
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
Drizly, the ultimate convenience for all your alcohol needs, delivered right to your doorstep. Tired of making last-minute trips to the liquor store or dealing with crowded aisles and long checkout lines? With Drizly, your favorite drinks are just a few taps away, making your alcohol shopping experience easier and more enjoyable than ever before. Drizly brings the liquor store to you, offering an extensive selection of beer, wine, spirits, and more. Browse their vast catalog of top-quality brands, local favorites, and specialty beverages, all conveniently organized on their user-friendly app or website. With Drizly, there's no need to leave the comfort of your home. Simply choose your favorite drinks, place your order, and let their reliable delivery partners handle the rest. Whether you're hosting a party, relaxing after a long day, or simply stocking up for the weekend, Drizly ensures that your drinks are delivered promptly and securely. But Drizly isn't just about convenience, it's about choice. Discover new flavors, explore unique craft brews, or find the perfect bottle of wine to complement your meal. With Drizly's vast selection, you have the freedom to choose exactly what you want when you want it. Worried about the hassle of age verification? Drizly has you covered. Their delivery partners are trained to ensure responsible alcohol delivery, making sure that only those of legal drinking age receive their orders. Your safety and the safety of your community is their top priority. Join the millions of satisfied customers who have already embraced the convenience and simplicity of Drizly. Say goodbye to the hassle of traditional alcohol shopping and hello to the ease of having your favorite drinks delivered to your doorstep. That's not all. Using our link in the description gives you $5 off your first order, which can greatly enhance your night, if you know what I'm saying. Ready to elevate your drinking experience? Download the Drizly app or visit our website today and experience the future of alcohol shopping. Cheers to a new way of enjoying your favorite drinks with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Honey, your ultimate online shopping companion that saves you time and money effortlessly. Are Are you tired of endlessly searching for coupon codes or missing out on the best deals when shopping online? Say goodbye to those frustrations and hello to Honey, the free browser extension that revolutionizes your online shopping experience. Honey is your personal shopping assistant that automatically finds and applies the best coupon codes at checkout, helping you save money with just a few clicks. No more wasted time scouring the internet for discounts. Honey does the work for you, ensuring you never miss out on a great deal again. But Honey doesn't stop at coupon codes. It goes the extra mile to ensure you get the best price possible. With Honey's innovative price history feature, you can track the price changes of your favorite products over time. This means you'll always know if you're getting the best deal or if it's better to wait for a price drop. And the best part, Honey works seamlessly with over 30,000 online retailers, including popular brands across fashion, tech, home goods, and more. Whether you're shopping for a new wardrobe, upgrading your electronics, or sprucing up your living space, Honey has your back, ensuring you get the best value for your money. Worried about privacy and security? Rest assured, Honey is committed to protecting your personal information. They never sell or share your data, and their browser extension is designed with top-notch security measures to keep your online shopping experience safe and secure. Join the millions of satisfied users like me who have already saved millions of dollars with Honey. Download the Honey browser extension today and unlock a world of savings every time you shop online. Don't miss out on an incredible deal and the chance to save money effortlessly. Experience the power of Honey and take your online shopping to a whole new level. Honey, the sweetest way to shop online. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show.
Oh no! Our table!
It is time for Oh No, Our Table, the part of the podcast where I go over any of your questions. And yeah, and if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram or email somewhere. I don't know what email we have these days. So
Let's just jump into it.
all right, I'm gonna have to press this thing hard. Woke up from a coma to find out my girlfriend was dating someone else. What do I do next? 2 months ago, I had a severe snowboarding accident that caused memory loss when I woke up from a coma. I discovered my girlfriend had blocked and deleted me from her life. After weeks of trying to reconnect, I learned that she had moved on and we had broken up before my accident due to hurtful feelings. I said in November, I don't remember any of it. I still love her, but she's moved on. I'm lost and seeking advice on how to move forward. Okay, so let me examine this situation real quick. Okay, so you were in a snowboarding accident, but before that, you broke up before the accident, and you don't remember that. So there is going to be the question of what happened during that fight or why you guys broke up or whatever, and stuff like that. Like, there is a good question there, like, what's going on? You know, what was that conversation like? How did that conversation go? Were you, because if you were kind of the asshole in the situation, honestly, you're going to have to get over yourself because that was your fault. And, yeah, that's all her fault. You know, don't be blaming her for what's going on. What I'm assuming is you had an argument and you broke up from the argument, got into this accident, and then woke up 2 months later with her moved on with someone else. You know, I guess most of us would think that, like, if we just broke up and I found out the person I was with just entered a coma, you know, part of it isn't like TV would tell you that, oh, yeah, the idea is that she would stick around for him even though they were in a fight. She would still stick around and power through it, you know, because she would realize how important you are in her life or whatever. Yeah, in this situation, it looks like you're in the coma, though you guys did break up beforehand, and she was over you, so she removed you from her life, and then you didn't know what happened. Now, question here, like, we really do need to get her side of the story because of if you had memory loss, because I don't feel like, because she could be lying to you and just saying, like, yeah, I don't want to date a guy in a coma, so but I mean, that's kind of just a mean-ass move, though, to be like, I'm moving on. And there's also the possibility, you know, I don't know about this story, there could be the possibility that you guys were broken up before this, and then the accident happened, and she blocked you on everything beforehand and didn't know about the situation. So, like, there's a possibility of that. But honestly, let me take your word for it. Let's assume you guys got into a fight and kind of broke up, or like, sometimes you kind of have an argument and it's like a temporary break, those situations, and, and you were gonna, and then you got into a coma, and this was like you guys went on the trip snowboarding together or whatever. And then you were in a coma and like, this is my chance to leave, That would make her just like a completely horrible person, if she did that in that situation where she knew about the coma, she was the one who got you to the hospital or whatever. To be honest with you, she's a bad person. And these are the moments in your life where, if you're dating or in a relationship or someone's your partner or whatever, moments like these are really the determining factor of, are we ride or die? Because, if I was dating someone and even if I thought we were breaking up and I found out like she got into an accident and now is in a coma, my immediate move would not be to move on, block her from everything, and just ignore her. Like, I would probably stick around a little bit until they got better, and then that's when you decide, like, do we need to break up? I had a friend once, he was about to break up with a girl, and then she told him she was diagnosed with cancer, and he was like, fuck. It was like the week after she went into remission, they broke up. She was a bitch, though, so we can laugh. She was a bitch, so, and not because of the cancer. She was a bitch before the cancer, FYI. Sometimes if you are a bad person, bad things happen to you. A lot of times that doesn't happen, but what caused her cancer? Probably from being a bitch, honestly. That was, sometimes that's the cause of people's problems, is just because they're a bitch, sometimes you meet like blind people who are like assholes or whatever. And like, I think part of it is that like they don't understand facial cues and some other things because they don't have sight. And so, with other friends, you're just like, yeah, get it for me, whatever. And like, I've always heard people like that, or it can be real dicks. But yeah, honestly though, like, she's not a ride or die. And so, ride or die means in the good times or the bad times, we stick together. And, to be honest with you, this isn't sticking together mentality. And so I think you should just be like, time to move on. I think you should just move on, You can impress. Yeah, I just got out of a coma and my girlfriend broke up with me. And that's how you get some bitches. That's how you can get some bitches right there. Don't act like too sad. You're like, sorry. If you act like confident, so it's like, say something dumb, you're like, sorry. My girlfriend, I was in a coma for 2 months and my girlfriend left me during the coma. You're like, oh. It's a good strategy, so you'll be fine. Plus, it sounds like if you can snowboard, you're probably somewhat active, so, it means it's not because you're fat. I'm extremely ambivalent about reconnecting with my ex from high school. How likely is it that he's changed? How can I tell? I'm a 25-year-old single parent with a 5-year-old son in my hometown. I dated an older guy I met on a Kid Cudi Discord server when I was 16. It ended badly with him sharing nude photos of me when I was 18. Goddamn, dude. Recently ran into him at a bar. He apologized, and we've been texting. I want to focus on my mental health, but unsure if he's really changed. How can I tell he's sincere? Here's the thing with that, though. Like, one thing I would try to get the details on with him is, has he done this shit to other women before? Like, especially leaking nudes. That's called revenge porn, and revenge porn is never cool. If a woman sends you a nude, the thing that means is that is yours. You keep it. You can keep it as long as you want, but only you should be the one looking at it, Only the people shared with. If they post on the internet, then it's fair game. You can look at someone's nudes if they're leaked on the internet. I feel like that's, you got to be respectful to them, but you're like, oh, like Jennifer Lawrence's nudes leaked. I'm like, I'm not going to look at her any differently, but I'm going to look at them. It's okay. Don't we all kind of want to know what everyone looks like naked? That's a little curious thing to me. I'm like, what do they look like naked? And it's not like, and I've seen a lot of naked women, so it's not like I'd be surprised or anything. Usually every time I see a chick's tatas, usually the nipples are bigger than I expected. That's usually, why is that always the case with me? Just like, Does porn just have too many small nipples? We need bigger nipples in porn, folks. Let's get some bigger nips in porn. But yeah, I think the real thing is, think about this. Has he done this with other women, not just you? Because if that's the case, that's a pattern. You know, we talked about a couple weeks ago cheating, and it's kind of the idea of if they've cheated on every relationship they had, that means they're going to cheat on you. If they cheated once and, you know, they're like, that was the worst mistake of my life, I feel bad. I'm like, that's okay. But like, you know, when you see patterns in people, that's red flags. Like bad patterns in people that you don't think you can like live with, you know, like that's something you got to pay attention to. So think about that. In my mind, if for me, what I would tell you to do is, you know, you can accept his apology and be civil with him, but here's the thing. I don't think you should get back together with him or continue talking with him. You know, I'm a big believer, like, you should be civil with your exes, but I'm not saying you have to be friends, you know? Like, that's what, you know, the idea is, like, if you run into your ex in public or whatever, even with the news someone else, you know, you can have a casual conversation, just be like, it's nice to see you, you know, nice to see you too. And if the sparks are still there, then I think it's okay. But, you know, I don't think that spark is there for you. And especially with a 5-year-old, like, do you want, like, this guy's leaking nude photos of you online. And that's going to be unfortunate. You know, you have a 5-year-old son because kids will find anything about you on the internet. And, yeah, and so that's kind of a bad thing. And like, if you're not a sex worker, like, you shouldn't have nude photos of you or revenge porn on you out there. And that's a really, for me, that's kind of an unforgivable thing to me. Like, I think you should, you know, he apologized, and you're gonna hope he's sincere about it. But at the same time, I don't think getting back together is a good idea. So just, you know, accept his apology, and don't talk to him ever again, because that's your real problem. It's just don't get back together with this guy, because revenge porn, if that happens, that means, I don't know, I think guys who do that shouldn't get women. You know, that's just my opinion. But you know,
This is the type of guy you get.
Can men and women really be platonic friends? Mid-30s, newly single after a decade-long relationship. The prospects of dating, feels daunting, yet to explore online options, but considering it soon. Wondering about the 80-20 rule. Do most women aim for the top 20% of men? What about the rest? Do they settle or give up? Shouldn't we focus on finding the right partner rather than the best? Despite meeting criteria for the top 20%, online dating seems chaotic regardless. So yeah, newly single. My advice for anyone, stay off the dating apps. Because yeah, you are right about that 80-20 rule when you come to it, because women are looking for the top 20% of guys. And yeah, they're not necessarily finding, because I think our standards become very unrealistic when we do online dating. And, you know, you're looking at a picture of someone and you're like judging, like, do I want to date them based off their picture and a couple things they've said about them in their bio? And none of that really represents the human experience, like who humans are, what a human is, and like, will they be compatible for you? So I agree with you. You are right. You need to focus on finding the right partner versus the best partner, because there's no perfect partner out there for everyone. Ask anyone who's been married for years and talk to them about things they wish their partner would change. They could change, but they can't, but they're not going to make them change, you know. Everyone has something, you know. I can think of exes that I've really loved, and I can think of other things too, like they have a boyfriend. You know, I've had to realize that if they have a boyfriend or a husband, that means they're not the best partner for me. They could be the right partner, but they're not the best partner for me. And they're probably not the right partner because if there's another guy, you know, usually when another guy is involved, usually that's not good. But then you have your questions. Can men and women really be platonic friends? These two don't match up. Okay. The written question versus the title. Maybe I messed up. I don't know. So yeah, I would say, are women looking for the 80-20 rule? I would say yes on dating apps. And if a woman really is like expecting you to be the top 20% of men, like, I consider myself in the top 50. I would say top 40% of men. I'd say I'm there. You know, I think I have enough shit figured out. I feel like I could be in the top 40. I don't consider myself in the top 20. You know, like, you know, and then part of that's probably my self-esteem, and like, you know, music is kind of a bitch too. So yeah, but let's go to your first question, or the first question I have here. Can men and women really be platonic friends? Here's the thing. Yes, they can be. I have women friends too. But you have to, there's a mindset both parties have to have. Is that, yeah, I never want to date this person. Like, you both have to agree you never want to date and you want to be friends. And so for the guys out there who think about, like, can I be friends with women? Yes, but you kind of, in a way, have to treat them like one of your boys, you know? Don't be, not, you know, some language has to change because not all women find, like, dirty jokes hilarious, but, you know, you can still, it's still be friends. But, like, you have to have that mindset, like, you know, it's like, you can't have the idea like, let's be friends and then I'm going to convince her to date me. Like, that's not going to work. Just be friends and stuff like that. And then if a spark happens, it happens, you know? Life happens that way. Men and women can be platonic friends, but, like, friends with your exes, you know, that's questionable. You know, someone you actually really want to date and you have a lot of feelings for, that's really dangerous too. So really, as long as you and the other person don't have any sort of romantic feelings for each other, yeah, you can be platonic friends. I have plenty of women friends too, and a lot of them are wives too, which is great because that means there is no romantic feelings involved for the most part. You know, I don't think I have any friends I've like wanted to marry their wife. It's always been a woman I met, and then she has a husband that's around, you know, and then stop texting my wife. I'm like, okay, I didn't think, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Next one. What is the best musical advice you've ever received? Okay. I'm a musician, so I know what I'm talking about, and I've been doing this almost 2 decades, which is like crazy to think because I still feel young. So I think one of my favorite advice to always give someone, and this is me giving musical advice. I'm pretending I'm giving it to like high school kids, like my advice, which usually goes in 1 year out the other for the most of them. The one big advice, what's good for the music is not always good for the life. Ben Folds said it in a song, but it's really stuck with me because mainly it's just a fact of that, like, things that will be good for your music career and will help you in your music career is not always good for your life. It's not good for your love life. It's not always good for your relationships with your friends and family. It's not always good there. You know, and a lot of times, like, I kind of live in a mindset, like, I just need everything I can schedule to be somewhat flexible, you know, like, if I was going to do a full-time job somewhere where I had to go in Monday through Friday, you know, I have to, you know, if you do a job like that, you know, I have to make sure evenings are free. That's, you know, that way I can do gigs because gigs happen at night. Work usually happens during the day. And so stuff like that. And, you know, I do substitute teaching. And the nice thing about that is, like, a full-time teacher, you are really confined to that school, like, from August to May. Like, so you can't really go out and tour and stuff like that. And that's why I've been a substitute teacher for so long, because I can still go on tour, play gigs and stuff like that, and not have to worry about that scheduling conflict. And so there's like that. Another advice, which everyone always gives, never pay to play. There's that 1% chance I've mentioned before where, like, paying to play means you're opening for, like, a really good band in a really good venue where there's going to be a lot of people there and it's actually going to help your career. That is very, very, very rare. Like I said, 1%. So never pay to play. A lot of people will be like, you could play, yeah, it's your local big theater, but you have to pay us $50, and then you also have to sell tickets, and whatever if you don't sell enough tickets, we're going to ask you for that money back. So, you know, crazy stuff like that. And so, like, I had a friend tell me one time he was getting ready to play a gig, and then the promoter or someone at the venue was just like, all right, guys, we're going to need your payment for you guys to play here. And he was like, what? He's like, yeah, you need to pay us to play here. And he was like, nope. So he packed up and left, and they didn't have music that night. You know, I think that was the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, which I've played there before. And I don't think I was paid, but I don't think I got paid, but I didn't pay to play there, you know, and stuff like that. So always stay away from that idea. You think it's a good idea, but it's always a disaster. And chances are you're probably not going to sell that many tickets, you know. I don't know, like, don't pay to play. The last one I have is everyone after you reach a certain level of proficiency on an instrument, what happens is you have to stop comparing yourself to others, because once you reach that level of proficiency, everyone is a good musician in their own way. So, like if you want to compare myself, I'll compare my guitar playing from the guitar player in the band I play with. Now, he is an incredible guitar player, insanely good. But like I would say, like, would he play Blink-182 as well as I can? Music? No. Could he play my originals as well as I can or whatever? No. But it's like he's also an incredible player, the guitar player in that band. So everyone's just so unique in their own way. And really, what you need to focus on being a musician yourself is really thinking about this. Like, okay, so we have a candidate. Here's the example I have. Like, so say you need a new guitar player for your band. Let's say 2 people auditioned. One you would consider an 8 out of 10, and the other one is a 10 out of 10. Now, this 10 out of 10, here's some facts with the 10 out of 10. That guy is not fun to be around. Which really is important when you have a band. Like, you want to be around these people. You don't have to like everyone in the band or like be like that. Like Hall & Oates was just like apparently was just business partners, not friends and stuff like that. Like, so you can do that, but it's also because you might be in a bus or a van with all these people, and like you want to have a good time, stuff like that, And like this guy kind of sucks, and he's late. He shows up late all the time, and like he doesn't really work on the music. But he is a 10 out of 10 guitar player. Versus the 8 out of 10 guitar player who does show up on time, is also just a great musician too. Just not as good as the other guy, but he practices the stuff and has his stuff down. He's fun to be around. Wouldn't you want to pick that 8 out of 10 versus the 10 out of 10? There's more to it than just your musical skill. There is this idea of like who you are as a person is really going to determine, especially in an entertainment type of field, the type of person, like you want to be the person people want to work with, people have fun working with, and people get excited to work with you or play with you, and a million other different, just little factors. So it's more than just your musicianship. And so you have to really focus on that too, If the rapture is not in the Bible, why do so many Christians believe it? In it. The rapture narrative is a powerful force in evangelical circles in the U.S. and elsewhere, but I know it is not biblical narrative and in fact came into being many centuries after the canonical text. That being the case, how has it become such a motivating narrative for so many Christians? So if you look at a lot of the history that I know, but I'm not going to source very well, the concept of hell was created as an attempt to scare people into being Christians. And so the whole hell thing is a scare tactic. And if your reason for being a Christian is you're scared to go to hell, just remember, hell doesn't exist. Hell is not real. The Satan, as they say in the Bible, is supposed to be, they're like metaphorical stories when he shows up. And it's always like an antagonist to God or someone who questions God. And, look at the story of Job. The whole idea is that if like you worship God, then he'll double your value or whatever during your after your suffering or whatever, like some bullshit like that. But like it probably makes more sense that is the story of Job is a like a metaphorical parable type of story that Jesus told all the time. So stuff like that. So the hell really was in existence to scare people into joining Christianity, and it did work. I'm telling you, it did work. And the rapture is this idea of like, if you're not a full believer in God, and then when Jesus comes back, the idea is like everyone thinks of the Left Behind movies where it's like clothes left behind and now everyone's in heaven or whatever and stuff like that. And then you were left behind because you didn't believe in God, and shit like that. That is very weird. A lot of Christians believe in like a literal translation of Revelations. One thing you need to remember in historical context is a lot of prophecies and predictions of the end times were coming because they thought Jesus was coming back very quickly. And so a lot of people like had all these predictions of the end times and stuff like that. And this was John's version of it and stuff like that. So, and as a lot of people would say, it kind of shows a cycle of we turn away from God, then we come back to God, we are good again. And, it's something weird like that. I can't remember. Josh Casey, my spiritual, not mentor, my spiritual advisor would tell me stuff like that. I tried to get him to tell me stuff, and then he just sent me a meme back. So I assume he didn't want to answer it. So fuck you, Josh. So yeah, I think if you read the Bible correctly, it would just kind of show a lot of like you're not going to see like a 5-headed dragon or some shit like that. Like that sounds made up, and people are just taking weird liberties on what they want to do with it. I think more or less, if you think about Revelations and the rapture and stuff like that, it's supposed to be symbolic and metaphorical versus stuff like that. One perspective, it could be, you could see it as all made up and stuff like that. I generally believe that you shouldn't really take Revelation, you should take Revelation with a grain of salt, even if you are a believer, but at the same time, a lot of like end time bullshit and stuff like that, most of that's usually made up. But I think the best part of the Bible would be Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, teachings of Jesus. And then you can read the stuff from Paul. And if you think about the books Paul wrote, it was more or less giving advice to newly planted churches on the issues they specifically had and how he thought the best idea to help them was. That's, a lot of cool stuff. Oh, I finally found that. The 80% of women really competed for the top 20% of men. Okay, those two got mixed up. I just did not write the right question. So I already answered that. All right, last question we got here. I guess we got to end it soon. How do you deal with being single when everyone's having babies and getting married? At 31, I once believed I'd find the right partner, but now I feel lost, like a lost cause. My friends are pairing up, getting engaged, and starting families while I struggle. I feel the pressure of time ticking away with panic about wanting kids. Despite efforts to improve myself with therapy, hobbies, fitness, negative thoughts persist. I'm too late, too old, and unlovable. Any advice to break this cycle? I don't see if you're a man or a woman. So for men, I would say having a child, settling down, not something you have to deal with. Now, I did hear that old guy sperm is not as good as it, and the baby could have some mental health problems. But that's I'm not getting into that. So for like men, like you're always able to have a baby unless you get snipped, and then you have to get unsnipped, and then likelihood is questionable. But if you're a woman, yeah, I understand for women, it's different because there's like a time clock of when you can have babies. And so if you don't have it when you're supposed to, then your eggs can all die and then you're not able to have children ever. You don't even have the option. Like for men, we always have the option to be able to make a child, but women don't always have that option. So I understand that pressure. I know it's not affordable, but you can freeze your eggs or whatever. I know a lot of people who do that, that way, freezing your eggs is kind of like, that way I can wait till I find the right partner who would actually want to be a parent with. And if I can't have kids, we still have that option, I know it's not necessarily reasonable for everyone. So, it's understanding. Adoption's always good too. Everyone talks shit. Adopt, don't shop on dogs, but like with actual humans, it's like, no, you need to make your own, It's like, well, yeah, we can take a child away from you, but you can make one. Anyone can make one. It's crazy ass shit like that. So yeah, you have to think about that. In regards to getting older with all your friends settling down and you're not, that is really difficult. And that's something, I think that's part of life and something you really have to accept. And something like if your goal in life is, if your only goal in life, which, a lot of people it is, and I'm kind of, I used to talk shit about it, but now I'm kind of jealous. I'm like, I just wish my ambitions in life were aligned with that. Like, your only goal, like, there's women out there whose only goal in life is just to be a stay-at-home mom and find a husband that can, who can support her, and that way she can stay at home with the kids and do that, and they just want to be a really good mom. And I think people like that are great, but, if you're a man, you're always able to have babies, and so the time frame is never easy. And maybe you become 40 and you date a 25-year-old. 25 is the youngest age anyone should go. Once you pass 25, once you hit 30, 25 needs to be the limit, the lowest limit for the rest of your life. But yeah, if you're a man, I don't think you should be something to worry about. You just have to hopefully your friends who do settle down, they want you to stay in their lives, and if they're good friends, they'll do that. If they're not, some people separate, and you move away somewhere and you don't always get to see someone, but at the same time, like, just live your life. When the time comes, it comes, and you just sometimes you just have to accept that you can't choose everything you want in life. Things just happen, and your life is that way for a reason. So, hope I didn't make you sad, But anyways, though,
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch, okay?
thank you for checking out this episode of Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. It always means a lot to me that people even want to listen to me talk for this long. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys. So let's end this right. Honk if you love butt drugs. Stay awesome. Believe it or not, Schweg isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Thank you for tuning in to Cancel Schweezy, the Lord's trademark favorite podcast, and joining me on this incredible journey. I hope you've enjoyed the valuable insights and engaging discussion I brought to your ears. To ensure you never miss an episode, hit that subscribe button now. By subscribing, you'll receive automatic updates whenever we release new content, keeping you in the loop with the latest episodes and topics. Subscribing not only guarantees that you'll never miss a beat, but also helps support our show. Your subscription plays a crucial role in helping us continue to bring you high quality content and maintain our podcast growth. So whether you're listening on your favorite podcast platform or watching our YouTube channel, take a moment to click that subscribe button. Join our community of passionate listeners and be part of the journey. Personally, I appreciate your support, and together, we can make this podcast even better. So don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button now and stay connected with us. Thank you for being part of our podcast family.